Good evening, scouts, scouters, and scouting families. Instead of a meeting tonight, you just got me because we've got a lot of big announcements, and we thought it would be important to share those with you tonight. So we're going to talk about some adult leader changes that are going on right now, and we're also going to talk about meetings moving forward. We have a bunch of people who have given loads of time and talent and effort into both of our troops and our crew, and we are grateful for the amount of time and effort that they put in, everything that they've done for our units. We are really sorry to see them go, but we are also really grateful that we have some really awesome people who are stepping up to take over those positions. So the first position we're going to talk about is our advancement chair. And if you have ever received a patch, at a court of honor or really any place in scouting, it happened only because of your advancement chair, who makes sure that all of our advancements are organized and all of our patches are purchased and everything we need is taken care of. For the past couple years, that position has been filled by Mrs. Cornish, who's also our resident scout book expert. But we're really lucky that Mrs. Cornwell, Emily's mom, is willing to step in and take over that position. So we are in good hands. The next position that we're transitioning is one that, as a scout, you might not deal with on a regular basis unless you're an SPL, and that is our committee chair. Our committee chairs make the person who's responsible for making sure that the troops are both running, are financially solid. They make sure that all the positions are filled. And the person who's been doing that for the past several years for us has been Mrs. Bickle. She was around actually for the formation of the girls' troop and helped get that off the ground. So we are grateful for her service. And we're really lucky in that Mrs. Menard, Aaron's mom, has experience as a committee chair. She was committee chair for PAC 256, and she is willing to take over that position. She's been shadowing Mrs. Bickle for the past couple months, and is ready to jump in here. Mrs. Bickle's going to stick with us through recharter to make sure that process goes smoothly and we stay an official troops. But after that, she'll be stepping back. The next person I want to talk about is a person who's been with our troop, the boys' troop, for a long time, and was there from the very start of the crew, and was really kind of instrumental in the crew getting off the ground with our venture patrol, which then turned into the venture crew. And that person is Mr. Phillips, who's been our lead advisor for the venture crew for the past while, and has obviously been an assistant scoutmaster with the boys' troop for a long time, and the girls' troop since it's been formed. So he is stepping back, and those are big shoes to fill. Well, luckily we have someone who is ready to wear big shoes, and that person is Mr. Cornish. Mr. Cornish is really excited about working with the crew and taking on some new adventures and looking at taking some more high adventure activities with the crew, and I think that's pretty exciting. The next person I'm going to talk about is going to be it's going to be hard for some of our scouts, I know, and that is that Ms. Jackson is retiring as the girls' troop scoutmaster. Obviously, Ms. Jackson started as an assistant scoutmaster with the boys' troop, and then was the charter scoutmaster of the girls' troop. She is really disappointed to be having to step back, but with her increased responsibilities at work, she just isn't able to keep the commitment up. So I'm sure that she'll still be sticking around. We'll still see her, but she is stepping back as scoutmaster for the girls' troop. However, we are really lucky that Ms. Boyd is willing to step into those really big shoes. So Ms. Boyd will be moving from assistant scoutmaster with the boys' troop to scoutmaster of the girls' troop. And I think that that's going to be a great fit for the girls' troop and for both units when we do things together. The last person is someone that is a position that you probably don't think about at all, really, but they're actually kind of they are at the very top of the organizational chart for both of our troops and for our crew, and that person is the chartered org rep. For the past, while, it's been probably about 5 years, Mr. Wertz served as our chartered org rep. Before that, he served 5 years as Scoutmaster of the troop, and before that served 2 years as Assistant Scoutmaster of the troops. So 12 years Mr. Wirtz has given to Troops 292. We are really grateful for everything that he's done for us and the legacy that he leaves. And again, we're really lucky that we have someone who is ready to step into that role, Mrs. Home, Garrick's mom, who happened to fill that position as well as committee chair over with Troop 244. So even though we've got a lot of change happening in our adult leadership, I hope everybody can see that we have some really awesome, experienced people moving into those positions, and we're going to be in good shape. So I am excited about the team that we are all going to be working with moving forward, and I'm excited to see how things are going to go. So, speaking of how are things going to go, this is the beginning of our scouting year, and we received a direction from our committee that they would like the PLC to look at how we can start meeting in person again for our troop meetings. Now that sports and athletics and other activities at schools are being able to be back in person with appropriate social distancing and personal protection in place, we feel that it is time for us to start seeing each other in person again. So tomorrow night, the PLC will meet at 7 p.m. and hopefully come up with a plan that we can release shortly after the PLC meeting and get that off to you. But I anticipate that we will probably be meeting in person starting next Monday. We don't know all the details yet. The PLC has to figure those sorts of things out. We are a youth-led troops, and so we'll have to see what comes with that. But they've been talking about it already, and I think that they've got some good ideas that are going to be able to get us off on a good foot. Obviously, there are some things that go along with meeting in person. There is a waiver that the BSA requires, the Michigan Crossroads Council requires. So that we'll be getting that out to you. We are also required to get a new copy of the annual health and medical review form, parts A and B only. So that means you don't have to do the doctor's office visit. You don't have to get a COVID test or anything like that if that's a question. It's basically the sheet that you fill out where you indicate any health concerns that you might have and anything that's in your health history that we should know about. So we need that. We'll be doing a screening at the beginning of every meeting. That will be a series of questions, and we'll also be scanning temperatures. Personal protection equipment will be required, such as masks. We will be maintaining social distance, and the PLC did a bang-up job of coming up with procedures that would keep scouts safe for the last campout that we didn't end up having, but we still have those procedures out, and the PLC spent some time on those, and they're solid. So I feel really good about that as well. The other thing that is going to be a little bit of an operational change for us is that we are going to be predominantly meeting together as two troops meeting together at the same time. Most of our activities will probably be done together, although the girls' troop will certainly have their own activities. The boys' troop will certainly have their own activities. More likely, the boys' troop may break off into T21 or older scouts. And obviously, our venture crew is going to continue to have their own meetings as well. We're probably going to stick with a similar format that we had when we were meeting together last winter and last spring, which is that one meeting a month, the crew will split off from the troops. Again, that's going to be up to the PLC, but I anticipate that that's what we're going to be doing moving forward. And so to facilitate that, all of the assistant scoutmasters in both troops, we're going to be asking them to register for both troops. So if you were an assistant scoutmaster just in the boys troop, we're going to ask you to register to be an assistant scoutmaster in the girls troop as well, and vice versa. This is going to simplify some things on the back end for us with Scoutbook. And it also is a better fit with our new model where both troops are going to be doing most of their activities together to be able to take advantage of the number of youth that we have in our troop so that we can provide, hopefully, the experience that every scout is looking for. So that's a lot of change, folks. But I think it's exciting stuff. I am as excited to go into our scouting year this year as I've ever been. I am as confident in the people that we have in these positions as I've ever been. So we're scouts. You're in good hands, and and we look forward to seeing you very, very, very soon. Take care. Have a good night, and God bless.